Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Glad to be here.
This time, we're taking a look at a really cool connection between two absolute music legends, the Beatles
Of
and
course.
Elvis Presley.
Two of the biggest.
Yeah, and the inspiration for this deep dive is a really fascinating article that was just published on February 17, 2025 in the Liverpool Echo,
Okay.
and it reveals how deeply Elvis influenced Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Not just his music, but like personally as well.
It's interesting, because it's easy to think of these artists as separate, phenomenons, but when you look closer, their stories are really surprisingly intertwined.
Yeah, I mean, they were both just titans in the world of music, right?
Oh, yeah.
Both the Beatles and Elvis sold millions and millions of
It's
records,
changed everything.
revolutionized the music scene.
Yeah, their impact goes way beyond sales figures, though.
Really, for sure.
They both introduced innovative techniques and styles that literally changed the course of music history.
Yeah.
To understand the Beatles, you really need to understand Elvis.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was a massive influence, especially in their early years.
Totally think about like the cultural landscape back then,
Yeah.
Elvis emerges at a time when music was, I mean, relatively tame.
Kind of.
And then suddenly there he is shaking things up with this raw energy and a sound that was totally different.
He blended country blues and pop in a way no one had heard before.
Right.
Challenging those rigid musical boundaries.
Yeah.
You could say he laid the groundwork for what we know as rock and roll.
Okay, so picture this. You're young Paul McCartney
Mm-hmm.
hanging out in Liverpool, and suddenly you hear Heartbreak Hotel on the radio for the first time.
Oh, man, it was electrifying. I mean, this wasn't just a new song. It was a whole new sound.
Oh, yeah, I bet it blew his mind.
Yeah,
That song, I mean, catapulted Elvis to superstardom.
it did.
It became his first #1 hit on the Billboard Top 100 and his first single to sell over 1 million copies.
Heartbreak Hotel really was a game changer.
Yeah.
Besides that unique blend of genres,
Mm-hmm.
Elvis's vocal style was totally new.
Yeah.
There was this raw passion and vulnerability in his voice that resonated with people.
It's true.
Plus that slapback echo they used on his vocals, that was something completely different. It created this haunting, almost ethereal sound.
Like he was channeling something totally new and raw
Yeah.
through his music, and people connected with that on a gut level.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember the social context, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the 1950s.
Right.
A time of, social conservatism.
Yeah.
Elvis's music, his moves, his whole persona
Everything.
could challenge those norms.
Totally.
He became a symbol of rebellion for young people,
Yeah.
a way to express their own desire for change and freedom.
You know what's really cool is that Paul McCartney actually shared a personal story about Elvis
Oh, really?
in that Liverpool Echo article.
Oh, wow.
It involves another one of his hits,
Okay.
All Shook Up.
Oh, yeah, the headache story.
Right. Paul was a teenager at a fairground with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there was this just stunning girl there, the kind that everyone's watching.
Oh, yeah.
Paul had a splitting headache, but then he put on All Shook Up.
And poof, headache gone.
Just like that.
And it was a powerful experience,
Wow.
linking it directly to the song's energy.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really highlights the emotional impact music can have.
for sure.
Almost like a physical sensation.
Yeah,
And it kind of reminds us how Elvis's music really captured the spirit of youth culture.
totally.
That energy, that feeling of liberation.
Exactly. Elvis provided this soundtrack,
Yeah,
for youthful rebellion and self-expression, something that clearly resonated with Paul,
yeah.
even as a teenager.
Now, the article also talks about a much later experience Paul had with Elvis's music.
Okay.
This one's a bit more poignant, though.
All right.
It involves the song, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You.
Yeah, the story about how it moved him to tears.
Right. Isn't it fascinating how music can evoke such powerful emotions,
It really is.
even decades later?
Yeah, it's like a sonic time machine.
It is.
Unlocking memories and emotions that we might not even realize are there.
Totally. And get this, he was singing along to the song,
Uh-huh.
and his kids were amazed by how well he remembered the lyrics.
Wow.
They even joined in. It's like Elvis's music transcended generations.
It really speaks of volumes about the enduring power of his music,
Yeah.
It continues to connect with people on such a deep emotional level, no matter their age.
Okay, so we've got these 3 Elvis songs now.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreak Hotel,
Yeah.
All Shook Up,
Uh-huh.
and I Want You, I Need You, I Love You.
Right.
It's like each one marks a different stage in Paul McCartney's journey as a musician.
Yeah, and they reveal a lot about Elvis's influence on him, too,
Oh, for sure.
musically and personally.
Yeah. Heartbreak Hotel was that electrifying first encounter,
Right.
a sound that just changed everything.
Absolutely.
All Shook Up represents that youthful energy,
Yeah.
that spirit of rebellion that Elvis embodied.
Uh-huh.
And then I Want You, I Need You, I Love You shows us the power of music to connect us to our past,
Yeah.
bringing back those raw emotions.
Even years later,
Yeah, it's like each song holds a specific memory,
it
a
does.
moment in time.
Yeah,
And when we hear it again, those emotions come flooding back.
exactly. It's incredible how music can have such a hold on us.
It really is. It makes you wonder what song has that kind of power for you.
Yeah.
What song takes you back to a specific time and place? Yeah, what song instantly transports you back, to a specific moment, a certain feeling?
Yeah. It's fascinating how music becomes intertwined with our personal stories.
It is. And you realize how much more music is than just entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
It's a powerful language that speaks to us on a deeply emotional level.
Absolutely. Think about the range of emotions music can evoke.
I know, right?
Joy, sadness, nostalgia, comfort. It's
Yeah.
a universal language.
Totally.
It transcends cultural boundaries.
And sometimes, like with Paul and that Elvis song,
Uh-huh.
music can even act like a time machine,
It can.
taking us back to our youth, even if just for a moment.
Exactly. It's a reminder that even global icons like Paul McCartney
Right.
have these deeply personal connections to music,
Yeah.
just like we do.
It really humanizes those larger-than-life figures, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
It
does.
shows us that we all share this fundamental connection to music.
It's something worth celebrating,
Yeah, yeah.
The power of music to connect us to our emotions,
Mm-hmm.
to our memories, to each other.
Beautifully said. So as you go about your day, let the music play.
Yeah.
And when you hear a song that takes you back, really take a moment to appreciate its power
Yeah.
and the memories it holds.
Let it remind you of the magic of music
Yeah.
and how it enriches our lives in countless ways.
All right, well, that'll wrap up our deep dive into this Elvis-Paul McCartney connection.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been amazing exploring the King's influence
He really was the king.
on one of music's greatest legends. What a journey.
Until next time, keep diving deep
Yes.
and keep the music playing.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.